Hello, everyone. I'm Estela Casas, creative brand strategist for the Viva Auto Group family of dealerships. Thanks for listening to the VivaStyle Podcast, where we have interesting conversations about the automotive industry that provides hundreds of jobs in the borderland. Let's talk VivaStyle. Puro party. Pure partying, huh? So El Paso has a lot of, great Mexican food. We have the beautiful sunsets. We have the beautiful Franklin Mountains. We have the Oregon Mountains up in Las Cruces. But we also have a lot of great people in our community and some great DJs and some great radio personalities. And we have Johnny Kage here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
So this is an opportunity to get to know you a little better.
Okay.
So I'm going to be asking you some questions that you're probably not used to answering.
Okay.
But I know you'll be upfront and honest and transparent about everything. So where did you get your name, first of all?
It started in the 90s. Mortal Kombat had released, Mortal Kombat was a famous video game. And in the 90s, I was doing a car show, and I didn't have a DJ name. I was just going by the DJ, and the cholo that was actually hosting it was like, hey, you look like that little monito on Mortal Kombat, the güerito one with the spiky hair and the sunglasses. And that's how I had my hair. I mean, I never had the body build like that because the character's built. And I was just like, oh, no, I didn't think of that. So
and the light bulb went off.
And he just started calling me that. So then the whole car show, they started calling me that after that. And before you know it, that's what it stuck with me, and that's really how I got my name.
Johnny Kage. And you talk about cars. So the Viva Auto Group and this page talks about the automotive industry, but we are all somehow connected, right? Everybody has to have transportation, right? And we hope that everybody buys our cars from our different manufacturers here in El Paso. So there's that shameless plug for Viva Auto Group. There it is. Thank you. And I didn't even ask for that.
I led right into it.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born and raised here. What's your background? Your parents are from where? Tell me about that.
Born and raised here. Born and raised in the Lower Valley. I grew up in the Riverside area. Graduated from Riverside High School. I'm your typical Lower Valley kid. And
you're not typical.
No, well, at first you start off typical, and then you kind of figure out life as it goes. But from El Paso, lived here all my life. My dad is a musician, so that's where the music background came out from. Well, on that side of me, and then my grandparents are the ones that raised me, though. So as a lot of El Paso families tend to do, and my grandma was always into music, and she was really the party animal. So I think that's where I definitely got the bug from, if that's what you want to call it sometimes.
The puro party.
The puro party bug, yeah.
So tell me, I noticed that you have some tattoos. Mm-hmm. Can you explain what they are?
My tattoos, my grandmother loved roses. So she was the one that my grandma and grandfather are the ones that raised me as a kid and taught everything. I always say everything that's good in me came from them, from the old school beliefs, from you work hard for everything. Yeah, todo en esta vida se paga. Se paga, yeah. And really, everything, I could say, all my discipline, my morals, my respect comes from them, because I still hear her voice in my head almost every day, my grandfather's voice in my head every day. And so my tattoos are roses, and just basically I have a bird on my shoulder. It reminds me of her, and they loved roses and flowers. So that's my tattoos, really. I have a clock just with no hands, because to me, I believe we're on borrowed time. So that's what my tattoos mean to me.
Okay, how about this one over here?
I have my son. Actually, it says my one arm says pain and pain and amor y dolor, and then I have I can't lift my shirt right now, but I have my son's footprints on there. A lot of people think it's my fiance's footprints, but no, it's actually my son's footprints.
And then you have some Roman numerals here.
I have the number 12 because it's my fiance's birth month and my birth month, and then it adds 12, which my son was born on the 12th, and my mom and my grandmother were also born on the 12th. December. So yeah, that's the significance of that.
They all have meaning. You say that you get your best, your good qualities from your grandparents. Mm-hmm. What are some of your bad qualities? Do you have any bad qualities?
Yeah, absolutely. We all do. I'm human too. Some of my bad qualities, I can be lazy sometimes. Sometimes I definitely am a procrastinator. And if if my better half was here, she'd probably be saying like, you expect other people to do your work for you sometimes.
Well, that's called delegating, okay?
Yeah.
So you're a good delegator.
Yeah. That's a nice way to put it. Thank you. But yes, definitely. I would say that, but I really, I'm a really easygoing guy. I really am. I mean, I'm super approachable. Everyone that meets me, they're like, dude, you're nothing like what I thought you'd be. And I'm just like,
well, because you have a persona.
well,
right?
you know how it is. You were on television, being on radio. We're behind a microphone. We're the ugly people behind, on the media side of it. That's why we're in radio. But I get a lot.
Well,
of
you
people
have
like,
a face for TV. It's not like you have a face for radio.
Oh, you know what's funny is I had approached I forgot what news anchor a while back, and I was like, they're like, yeah, they would never let you on TV with tattoos.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you'd have to wear a lot of makeup there.
Yeah. No, but honestly, it definitely goes back to my grandmother and grandfather that just taught me a lot about life, really. Because growing up in the Lower Valley, as a lot of El Pasoans do, just in El Paso general, don't have much money, and you really learn what the struggle is early on. So I'm grateful for that because it made me who I am today.
Who is Johnny?
Who is Johnny? Honestly, I'm just your normal guy from El Paso. I just a guy that loves music, passionate about music. My father, like I said, is a musician still to this day. So I can honestly say a lot of the music that I know is from him. He still has his band. He has his own band. That's what he's done as a kid. I love music. I love radio. I love family. I love pets. I love, just like I'm like a normal guy.
You can't love everything. So who is not Johnny?
Who is not Johnny? You know what? Someone that is jealous, someone that is envious. I like to see people win. I think that is huge in our society where for some reason when someone is doing well, they tend to get backlash from the community, which I've never understood. I'm like, why not be happy for people? So that's definitely not me. I like to see people achieve their goals. I like to see people doing good, there's a saying, people want to see you do good, but they just don't want to see you do better than them.
That is true.
And that's what I've, unfortunately, that's what I've ran into with years of being on radio and trying to gain success. I think it's part of the learning process.
Do you think as Hispanics, we have to work harder?
You know what? Yes and no. I think, unfortunately, and I've talked about this on other podcast interviews that I've done, I think our raza has a problem with people moving up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're envidiosos and I think celosos at some point. Mm-hmm. I've even had family members that are like that with me. They get envious or like, ya te crees, or,
Ya te crees mucho.
Yeah, exactly.
Cálmate.
And we do have to work hard and it really, it's sad because not only do we have to prove ourselves to our own, but we also have to prove ourselves to every other ethnicity out there. And so definitely we do have to work because there is a certain, I want to say, stigma when it comes to the Hispanic community. Oh, you can look at in movies, you always get portrayed as cholos or gangsters or
Maids.
something. And unfortunately,
Mechanics.
that's not the way it is.
Right.
We have a lot of great people in our community, a lot of great leaders. Just the opportunities are very, very slim.
We just have to work harder.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what's going on with you? What are you up to? What is Johnny Kage up to? I see you all over social media and just doing things. Tell me about your plans for now and in the future.
Well, I mean, of course, I have my ongoing morning show that I've been with our company for 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 22 years I've been with 104.3 Hit FM, and loving it. I mean, I love my morning show, but like I said, I just don't want to be that old guy in radio. So eventually, I know I have to transition on. I do events. I got into festivals recently. Me and a couple of partners of mine, we just did our Sal y Limon Downtown Street Festival, which was a huge success. I have another festival coming in September down at Ascarate Park. So just doing events with see where I'm fitting in, and believe it or not, I want to go back to school. So that's actually in my immediate goals for next year. I definitely want to. I never finished college. I was the one that I got into DJing, and I saw the money because the money's excellent. Especially in the nightlife and working in Juarez. It really took my attention away from achieving my goals. And now I'm about to have an 18-year-old son. He turns 18.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, he'll be graduating from high school next year. So I know that he's seen the road that I paved as far as what success looks like.
Right.
but I always give him the buenos consejos, saying, you know what, don't take the path I took because it's not for everyone. It's a hit or miss, you know.
And times are different now.
Absolutely.
Now kids, before it's like, oh, you get your high school diploma. Oh, you get a nice job. And then you get your degree. Now you need a master's, and now you need a PhD. And so we do have to be examples for our children and for our community.
And I'm very, very careful because I always tell, whenever I speak at schools or to anyone that's young, I always tell them, don't think that you're going to have it easy. You don't think I had it easy because you don't see the struggle. You see the glory of it right now. You know, you don't see when I was struggling, when I was, man, what am I going to do now? The points where it was just the not knowing if you were going to make it or not. You know, and thankfully I pulled through. I tell them, if you don't have passion, drive, and
ganas.
And yeah, exactly. If you don't have ganas to do what you love, I mean, you're never going to succeed. And that's just in anything.
What do you want your degree in?
You know what? I want to help kids. I really do.
A social worker?
Or a therapist, maybe.
A therapist.
You know, because I didn't, I went through a lot as a kid. And, just like a lot of kids in El Paso, unfortunately, I saw a lot of bad stuff that I shouldn't have seen. So I definitely want to, encourage that there's that it's not all, it can always be like that. I want to encourage kids that, just because you had a rough upbringing doesn't mean, you're going to amount to nothing.
Right.
Because I made something of myself when the odds were definitely stacked against me. So I think that's important. And I want to inspire them, because I see what, especially right now, what they're facing, it's 10 times worse than when I was a kid.
Social media, huh?
Absolutely.
We did stuff. Well, you guys did stuff, and it was kept under wraps. So now everything is so public, and so are the challenges.
Everything's out there, and now unfortunately, this generation is starved for likes and acceptance. And how many likes did I get on my Facebook post or Instagram post? And I think they've lost sight of what's really what's real and what's not real. So I think in a way, social media is bad.
So I see you getting your degree in either psychology or social worker or anything like that. I see you also continuing with your DJ activities and doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
the music side of me is never going to go away. I love it too much. I really do. It. Everyone asks me, dude, you're older up there. You're up there. You're
not that old.
Well, I mean, I'm in my mid 40s, but I mean,
you got a long way to go.
But honestly, it's the passion that has kept me here. It's the love. When I started DJing at 13 years old, and then I started DJing in Juarez. That's where I started my career. Started at Vertigo nightclub, and I got told a lot of no's before that at places that I wanted to play at. They're like, no, you're too young.
And you have to reinvent yourself constantly, right?
And especially with technology now. I'm not very savvy when it comes to technology.
but we're learning.
No, yeah, you have to. And you have to reinvent yourself and figure out things and what's going to work. And, sometimes, I find myself listening to music that I would never listen to, but I'm just like, well, you got to stay relevant some way. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all part of the growing process.
Any regrets?
You know what? I wish I could have finished college early. So that way I wouldn't have to do that now. I wish I could have just gotten that out of the way. But as in anything, anyone that's ever been through this journey knows that once you start making money without college, you understand, you think, oh, it's going to be easy. But you don't understand, Father Time, after a while, it catches up with you.
It sure does. It took me 25 years to earn my degree because, I started as a voice performance major at Arizona State University and realized that I didn't want to sing classical music the rest of my life. So I wanted to become a singer. And so I tried, I was offered a 5-year singing contract in Mexico City, which I said, no, I'd had to give up a lot of things. And I said, I wasn't that hungry. So I started school and then I started work, and then you keep moving up in the workplace and in the community and all that stuff. And you go, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten my degree.
Yeah.
I didn't make any more money after I got my degree, but it was a personal satisfaction for myself and for my children that you have to complete something that you started. And I have 2 kids who have graduated from college.
Awesome.
They did it in 4 years.
Congratulations.
And I have one that's going into college in August, and he knows he better do it in 4 years too. No 25 years for none of them.
No, but I think it's important. I mean, a lot of I think what's wrong with our society, and sometimes with some parents, not all, is that they tend to put pressure on other people instead of putting the pressure on themselves, saying, I gotta lead this household. I gotta show my kids right and wrong. I gotta lead by example. And I think that's what we all need to do. We all need to step up to the plate instead of putting that on someone else, whether it be an influencer, a celebrity, or something. Because when they mess up, you point fingers at them.
Right.
But you can never point fingers at yourself saying, well, I should have been the one showing my child this, and this, and that, instead of, blaming it on other people.
And hopefully we recognize that sooner than later before
Absolutely.
our kids get too old and too set in their ways that they can't change. What do we not know about Johnny? What's your hobbies? Do you have a favorite song? What's your favorite color?
What's funny is my hobbies. On my spare time, I like to just be home. I'm really a homebody. Everyone thinks you're always out, or if I go out, I'm doing events.
You're working.
Yeah,
it's different.
I like to be at home a lot. Hobbies, I like to golf. Believe it or not, I do. I haven't golfed in a while because my schedule has been so crazy lately. Other than that, I'm really laid back. I'm a sucker for old school movies. I love classics. I love music of all genres. I grew up with, like I said, Sunday mornings with rancheritas with my grandma, listening to the AM radio, hearing Carlos y Jose, hearing Pedro Infante, hearing Rigo Tovar. Just so many. That's where I can honestly say that's why I'm so open minded to music. And I'm every time I hear music, that's why I tell you, I can never let the music go. It's a bone that you just have. It just always calls to you. No matter how much I'll say, I'll walk away from it one day. I go somewhere and I'm just like, oh man, what is that? Or like, oh, I remember this song. And that's the beauty of music. It takes you to a better place.
What's your favorite color?
Black. It makes me look thinner.
Right? Yeah, and taller.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Mine is red.
Yeah.
No, well, Johnny, thank you so much for letting us into your world.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
And just, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of interesting, I like to call them characters and personas in our community. And this is our podcast, the VivaStyle Podcast, is an opportunity to expose these people like yourself and to share these stories, because everybody needs to know us at a different level. That's how we connect, right?
Absolutely.
When you know that I know that black is your favorite color, or that you want to go back to college. So it all connects us in some way, because I think maybe through social media we've lost that connection a little bit. So we got to pull back and go to the basics. So,
well, I always agree that I always think that what you see on social media isn't everything.
Right.
Everyone's going to put up just the nice things. You
Exactly.
never see, the real truth behind it. Absolutely.
Struggle.
Yeah, and you know how it is. You
know.
You put in your time. You're a legend. So I'm kind of like, honestly, it's funny because I'll tell you this real quick, Estela, is that I get a lot of people who are like, who do you get starstruck meeting? Because I've met Kim Kardashian. I've met a lot of my favorite DJs. I'm like, what's funny is the first time I did a radio interview with Cheech and Chong, I was starstruck. I was speechless.
Because you identified.
Yeah, because it's raza.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm always about supporting our own. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, Cheech and Chong up in smoke, and oh my, I remember everything. Same thing right now. I'm going through. I'm like, Estela Casas. I'm like,
oh.
I was like, so this is what Gary felt like. So this
Well,
is how I
thank
felt. But
you.
honestly, you're definitely an icon. So thank you for everything that you've done for our community.
Well, thank you. Like yourself, I think we all maybe as Hispanics, maybe other ethnicities don't have the same feelings or maybe the same responsibilities. I feel that we have a responsibility to not only represent ourselves, but we represent and our families, but we also represent our communities.
Absolutely.
And we're not here just to take up space. We're here to leave our mark and make a difference.
You have to. I mean, that's why I'm always involved in the community. I do community projects, service. I work with the Child Crisis Center. I do a lot of stuff for pets during the winter months. We do blanket drives, food drives as well. I've done stuff for toy drives for the kids. It's very important because I think as community, there's people. Everyone says, well, you're a community leader. No, anyone can be a leader. You just got to step to the plate. Just take that initiative and
It's
say,
a responsibility, and it's work.
Absolutely.
We love the work and fun and puro party that you're doing here in our community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And thank you for joining me today and for opening up your heart.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. Remember to like and share the Viva Auto Group page. And we'll see you next time with some more interesting conversation. Have a great day, everybody. We'd like to hear what you think about today's conversation. Go to the Viva Auto Group Facebook page and like us. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car or truck, we invite you to choose a Viva vehicle.
A soaking bath is relaxing, but the ocean breeze is closer than you think. Escaping the heat in the mountains is too, if you're in the right vehicle. Don't dream it, live it. Vacation in a new Viva vehicle. gather the family for a well-deserved adventure in a Viva vehicle.
Hey, that's my spot.
What's your Viva style? It's what you want it to be. Come see Viva in El Paso and Las Cruces.